Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to look at getting your full UK motorcycle license, so the licensing rules here in the UK, which can take you to your ride of freedom to get yourself a full unrestricted license. So I'm going to talk about that today. I'm in the park right now, so I'm just going to have to watch out for the ramblers and get past some of the potholes here. Sorry if I kind of hiccup whilst I'm talking. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is, with the full motorcycle licensing here in the UK, it's actually very strict compared to many other countries in the world. Unfortunately, the average age of a motorcyclist with a full license in the UK is 50 years of age. And unfortunately, it's not getting any younger. So younger generations have not taken up motorcycling in the same way that the Generation X has, for instance. Okay, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this whole topic down into 4 parts. Okay, so the first thing you need to remember is your step 1 is to get your CBT. Your step 2 is to do your theory test, like in any other licensing. Your step 3 is something called mod 1, which is in a car park going around a whole load of cones. And finally, your mod 2 is just like a normal car driving test, but you're on a motorcycle and you're out there on the road. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each part briefly individually. And then in the future, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some more clips on each individual section to allow people to have a better idea on what to do. Okay. All right. So part 1. I apologise. Part 1 is your CBT. Now that is your first step. Now, what step 1 the CBT is? It's effectively your foundational ride. So what is it? It's the compulsory basic training, or CBT for short. It's a 1-day course that you must complete before you can ride any motorcycle on the road, even without plates. So it's designed to ensure you have a basic understanding of motorcycle controls and road safety. So it's very basic. Now, the age requirements, you can take your CBT from 16 years of age. However, the size of the motorcycle you can ride depends completely on your age. So if you're 16, mopeds, but you can also get some motorcycles like a Yamasaki, or there were plenty of Yamahas back in the day when I was a teenager, but you can only ride a 50cc motorcycle. Okay, so that's probably a maximum of about 28 mile an hour, because it's not a 2-stroke. Okay. Now, however, when you reach 17 years of age and you do a CBT, you can ride a motorcycle up to 125cc with a power output of about 11 kilowatts. Okay, so that's about 14.7 brake horsepower. Now, what the day involves? Well, the CBT typically includes 5 elements. You'll have an eyesight check, so ensuring you can read a number plate from about 20 meters away. You'll have some off-road training, learning the basics of motorcycle controls and handling in a safe environment. You'll have an on-road safety briefing, understanding road rules and safe riding practices. On-road riding practice, getting practical experience on the road with your instructor, and an on-road assessment demonstrating a safe level of competence on the road. So the outcome, once you successfully complete your CBT, you'll receive a certificate called a DL196, which is valid for 2 years. During these 2 years, you must pass your full motorcycle license, so theory, mod 1 and mod 2, if you wish to continue riding without L plates, or you'll just have to do your CBT again 2 years later. So basically it's just a one-year course, and if you're above the age of 17, you're on a 125 motorcycle and you're on L plates, and you're out there in just a day. Okay, so the initial part of getting going is not really that difficult. Can you fail a CBT? Technically not, because it's a course, but equally, if you're not showing the instructors the skill that you are safe to be left alone outside on the road, then yes, you won't be able to get through. So is it a test? No. Is it a course? Yes. Can they refuse you from going out on the road, or give you the certificate? Also yes. So but To be fair, not a lot of people do actually fail the CBT. If the instructors are happy that you're safe to go out on the roads, then that's what you can do. So that's part one. That's the CBT. Now, moving on to part two. Okay. Now with part two, it's effectively the same thing in any licensing. We have the dreaded theory test. Okay, so you book a theory test. It's a big old computer room. It's the same thing with driving a car or going for your van license, your truck license, or anything of the sort. And it's all about brain power. Okay, so the theory test is all about knowing your stuff. So what is it? Before you can take your practical tests, you need to pass the motorcycle theory test. This assesses your knowledge of the highway code and signs and safe reading practices. Your age requirements: you can take your motorcycle theory test from 17 years of age onwards. So what does it involve? The theory test has two parts. Multiple choice: you have 50 questions and you need to answer at least 43 correctly to pass. These cover a wide range of topics from road markings to hazard awareness. I would strongly recommend you download some tests for about, I don't know, £8 or £9 from the internet, and practice about 30 tests. But before you do them, you also have a hazard perception test, which is a bit like a computer game. 14 video clips showing everyday road scenes with developing hazards, and you need to click the mouse when you see a hazard developing. You can score up to 5 points for each hazard, and you need to score at least 44 out of 75 to pass. Booking and validity: now you need to book your theory test in advance through the DVSA, so that's the Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency website. Once you pass your theory test certificate, it's valid for 2 years from the date of passing. Now you must pass your Module 1 and Module 2 within this 2-year window. Okay? Alright, and if you don't pass it within that 2-year window, then you have to do Mod 1 and Mod 2 again, and so it just kind of repeats itself in 2-year cycles. Alright, so first thing was the CBT, second thing was the theory test. Now the third thing to do is called the Mod 1. Now that's your off-skills road test, so off-road skills test. Okay. And that's all about mastering the manoeuvres in a large area, sometimes the size of about 2/3 of a football field, and it's got loads of cones everywhere. So what is it? Module 1 is an off-road practical test conducted at a specific DVSA test centre. It assesses your ability to safely perform a range of slow speed and high speed manoeuvres. For the age requirements, you can take Module 1 once you're 17 years old and have a valid CBT and pass your theory test. The category of license you can progress to after passing Mod 1 and Mod 2 depends on your age and the size of the motorcycle you use for the tests. Okay, so what it involves: the test includes exercises such as slalom, riding between cones on a controlled speed, and figure of 8, riding in a figure of 8 within a designated area. You got a slow ride, maintaining a slow controlled speed without putting your foot down or hitting a cone for that matter. A U-turn, performing U-turn with a marked area from standing basically. You'll have a controlled stop, braking accurately within a marked zone, and hazard avoidance and emergency stop, performing a controlled swerve to avoid hazard and executing the emergency stop at a specific speed. Now the passing requirements for this test, dancing between the cones and everything else, you must perform all the exercises safely and correctly with no serious or dangerous faults and no more than a certain number of minor faults. Okay, so that is your part 3. Okay, so again, your first hurdle was the CBT. Your second hurdle is completing the theory test, and your third hurdle is the Mod 1, which is on that large government-controlled car park area with a whole load of cones. Okay, so it's called the off-road test. Now, your last and final hurdle, this is your step 4. It is your part 4. Okay, it is the on-the-road test, just like you would take a normal driving test with an examiner there. And the only thing the examiner follows you on a motorcycle. Okay, so the module 2 is the road to your full license. So what is it? Module 2 is the final on-road practical test. It assesses your ability to ride safely and competently in a variety of road and traffic conditions. Your age requirements for this: you can take module 2 once you've passed your CBT, theory test and your mod 1, and again your age on the bike you use will determine your full license category. So for an A1 license, for instance, that's a light motorcycle, minimum age of 17, you can ride a bike up to 125, power output of 11 kilowatts. So that's for a 125. So 17 years of age, a 125. A2 license, so that's a standard motorcycle, minimum age you've got to be 19 years of age, and after holding an A1 for 2 years or direct access bike with power output of at least 20 kilowatts but not more than 35 kilowatts. Generally under 500cc from what I can tell most of the time, if that's easier to understand. Of course, lastly is your A license. That's your unrestricted motorcycle license. The minimum age is 24, so I was able to go for my unrestricted motorcycle heavy bike license straight away because I'm over the age of 24. And or after holding an A2 license for 2 years or direct access. So I went for direct access. I didn't have to go through any of the stages. I could get straight to it because I'm 24 years of age. So I did my CBT, my theory, my mod 1, mod 2, and hey ho, I had my full license. So what does this mod 2 involve? Well, it lasts about 40 minutes and it includes an eyesight check again, okay, just to see that your eyesight hasn't deteriorated. It also has some show me, tell me safety questions about the motorcycle, okay, so you've got plenty of stuff online and on YouTube going through those various different things with a motorcycle that you can then explain to the examiner when the examiner asks you the questions. Then you'll have a general road riding in various traffic conditions. Your independent riding following signs or directions and pulling over and moving off safely. Potential for hill starts and angle starts. Emergency stop may be requested, but I didn't have to do one on mine. So the passing requirements for this final hurdle for your mod 2 is you must demonstrate a high standard of safe riding with no serious or dangerous faults and no more than a certain number of minor faults. And then congratulations guys, after that you will have your full license. And once you successfully pass module 2, all I can say is well done. You've earned your full UK motorcycle license and the freedom of the open road without L plates. You can get rid of the feeling of that badge of shame, because I hated having an L plate on the front of my 125 and the back as well. It just made me feel like an absolute noob, and I was just absolutely overjoyed when I'd finally got through my unrestricted license. So how quickly did I manage to do that in? Well, I managed to do that in 9 months. Why did it take so long? It was a matter of the bookings and when I was actually available and what kind of bookings were actually available to me as well. Unfortunately, you can't take tests during the weekend, which made things a little bit more difficult. But fortunately, I managed to get through everything within 9 months. Okay. Right, so I hope that's explained everything for you. So again, it's in 4 stages. Your first stage is your CBT. Your second stage is your theory test. Your third stage is called your mod 1, which is an off-road test, riding between cones and stuff. And your last section was the mod 2. That's your 4th step, and that is the on-the-road test, which I have just explained. Guys, seriously, I didn't have anyone to help me and answer questions when I was first going through all this razzmatazz, and I must say it was actually quite difficult for me to work things out on the internet and times and all this kind of business. So please do feel free to ask me any questions in the comments, and if I don't manage to get around to some of the questions, I'm sure many others are welcome to offer their words of wisdom as well. Okay, so take care, God bless, and I'll see you again soon. Alright, bye bye.